Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst. So, we have a lot more to do in the forest here today. We're going to go ahead and start up a new party here, and we are going to take care of the next of the government quests first up here today. So, let's make our way inside. And we are going to get to where Momoka is. Alright, so, Torrential Woods is the second in this series. Please eliminate the dangerous wildlife in the area around the central dome. Good to see you, Ranger Bright. Let me get straight to the point, again. The way to the central dome is now open. We went in to further investigate the reason for the explosion, but the search team was attacked by those violent wild animals down there. There have been many casualties already in the dome area. I'd like you to go and exterminate these vicious beasts. Our teams can't handle it. We need the help of you hunters. My secretary, Irene, has the details. Please speak to her. I'm counting on you. Alright, Irene. Let me brief you on your mission. Orders are to exterminate the giant wild animals around the central dome. I believe you've already run into some of them, so you should be prepared. It will be a great help if you can exterminate all of them in the area. Use the transporter to get down to the surface of Regol. I've heard that these animals are tough. Please, be very careful. That is all. Good luck. Anything else? Oh, also, regarding the principal's daughter, Red Ring Rico, please tell me anything that you find about her whereabouts. Thank you very much. Alrighty. So, let us make our way down to the forest. And we are set up high here on the hill here, and it looks like the teleporter to the second area of the forest is right down there, but once again, we cannot jump down, so we have to take the long way here. So we're starting off against some Rappies here. Now, to be honest, this is how most missions are actually going to go. There are some very interesting ones that we're going to run into eventually. Some that are very story-driven. But for the most part, this is kind of what the government missions are going to be like. And there's a reason you want to go through the government missions anyway, and it has to do with the kind of gear that you're going to obtain once you finish up a section of the government quests. So right now, we are doing the first series, which is in the forest here. Once we finish this series, we're going to get a new weapon. And in particular, for Rangers, that is going to be a rifle +5. I think this was, yes, it's a rifle +2 I've got currently, so that will give us a little bit more damage on the rifle. That, of course, being if we don't find anything better in the meantime. Alright, moving on. It looks like we got switches on both sides here. Okay. Oh, we got some wolves here now. Once again, easily taken out. And once again, always face these guys, otherwise they are going to try to get you from behind. Unfortunately, what they like to do is kind of spread out like that, so you can't face both of them at the same time. But just do the best that you can. Okay, there goes the debuff for that one. Now, what you'll find in a much later mode called Ultimate Mode is when you take care of, or rather when you take out one of them, they actually buff themselves instead. But we are still quite a ways away from when that's going to come into play. Okay, I think it's time to feed the mag. And it is going to continue living on this diet of antidotes for quite some time here. Into the second area of the forest we go. We're basically picking up where we left off last time when it comes to the government quests here. I'm actually kind of surprised to see a Psi armor out here. How many slots? No slots. Psi armor is essentially the next level in terms of defensive, or rather armor that you can have. But if you've got slots, it's honestly better to hang on to the old stuff, especially if you've got things to put in there. Like I've mentioned last time, those slots basically allow you to add additional attributes to your armor, such as giving you better attack power, better attack accuracy, and then there are even some special ones that will either increase how defensive you are against certain elemental attacks, and some can even help to speed up how quickly you're going. So the timeline, it's kind of open to interpretation, but generally, I like to think that the first of the government quests happens before all of the solo missions happen, and then the last of the government quests happens after all the solo quests for an area have been finished. One thing that we will eventually see with those quests is they will actually take us through multiple areas. But in general, you need to... the solo quests themselves also unlock in tiers, and we'll be able to see the second tier of those once we're out of here. So this is one of the tricks that you learn as a ranger pretty early on, and it's basically, it has multiple names, but door hiding is what I like to call it. And it's basically, because of how the enemy AI works, they actually can't approach you across rooms, and so you basically run out of the room once they get a little too close, and they just reset their position. This happens a little bit less in Episode 4, just because of how open the areas are. But it's still something that you can sometimes still take advantage of. This is always a nice room to come across, just because there's rarely, if ever, going to be any enemies in here. It's usually just going to be some item boxes. Let's go ahead and feed our mag. Okay. How's the audio today? I noticed last time I was clipping a little bit. Is it any better today? Glad to hear it. Okay. And this is a really good room for rangers to be in, just because you can attack enemies from just so far away and not even have to worry about them. It gets to the point whereby some of them start to disappear because of how the culling in the game works. But if you look at the mini-map, you will be able to see the other target there. Alright, and we have reached the room before the final section. Let's break open these boxes. And then there is something that we need to do before we actually go into the next section here. So, we've got a little message pod from Red Ring Rico here. They say the giant pillar is a monument built by Pioneer 1, but given recent events, I think it warrants a more thorough investigation. What are, and what about those weird symbols? Could they be letters? So, this thing right here, this is something that you need to come across in the other versions of the game. If you're playing version 1, version 2, or the GameCube or Xbox version. You basically need to come across it and activate it. And if you don't activate it, then you're never going to be able to open up the last area in Episode 1. But during the government quests here in Blueburst, the game pretty much forces you to activate them regardless. Hey, we got our Photon Blast. I'm actually going to hang on to that for right now. Alright, we got a big group of them here. Let's do this. And now they start attacking each other. Yeah, regarding the capsules versus the messages that we're going to come across eventually, SEGA has done several retcons with the story. The other thing I will note is, I guess you're referring to it, so I'll refer to it as well. History really doesn't record very well who it was that actually took care of it. At least within the canon of the game, and we can see that through one of the quests called Blue Star Memories. Alright, so these Hildebears, you definitely want to try to keep your range, or rather, you want to try to keep away from them if you can, because they are extremely powerful. Okay, here we go. I was waiting for a group of 2 of them. Photon Blast! Alright, here's another group of 2. Let's see if we can get them to fight each other. Unfortunately, the effect did not last that long, so we're going to try damage and freeze. That will give us some more damage here. Yeah, so that just goes to show you how much damage these guys can do. Alright, we've exterminated the wild animals. And let's make our way back up to Pioneer 2. Alright, let's get some more antidote here. Yeah, so already, we're actually sitting pretty well on the Seta here. Like I said last time, once you hit around level 40 or 50, you really don't have to worry about Meseta that much anymore at all. Alright, you selling anything good? Not really. Okay, let's get rid of what we can. I think that's it for now. Okay, so let's make our way up to the Principal, and we are going to hand in the quest. Well done, Bright. Thanks to you, we can investigate the Central Dome at last. I wonder if the people of Pioneer 1 are alright. Is something on your mind? There was a pillar down on Regol with strange markings on it? My guess is that it was a monument set up by the Pioneer 1 settlers. But that does seem a bit unusual, I admit. Well, leave that to us, for now, then. Again, you did a good job. Please, go and get some rest. Good work. Now we can safely investigate the Central Dome. Maybe we can get some clues as to what happened to Pioneer 1. I hope that we can find Rico too. Alrighty. Alright, so with that, we've finished up the second of the government quests. There's one more government quest, but before we do that here today, I want to continue on with the side story as well here. So, let's go ahead and start with Journalistic Pursuit. A journalist wants to go down to Regol. It's my duty to report what's on Regol. Take me with you. Alrighty. Are you a ranger? Hi, I'm Noel Rinaldi, a journalist. Have you seen the online news on Pioneer 2? That's my job. Oh, don't worry about these clothes. I seek the truth, and I want to be able to let everyone know the truth. Information is controlled by the government. We journalists are just given information to broadcast to the public. A long time ago, there was newspaper media. It was a daily report of the truth that journalists collected. I envy the old days. I know there's a way to Regol via a transporter. Access is restricted. No, I don't want to disclose it. I just want to go to Regol. What is Regol like? Was there really an explosion? Does Pioneer 1 exist at all? I want to see the truth with my own eyes. Please go with me. The government wants to restrict the media. They try to monitor us. That's the reason why I'm wearing these clothes. A disguise. But I don't know how to fight battles. It's your job to guard me. Got it? Well, first, I want to check out the Central Dome. please take me around the central dome. Alright, now, anybody that played the Dreamcast version of Phantasy Star Online, you may be shaking in your boots right now here. And that is because this character, though they don't do anything in the story against you, was well known for being, essentially somebody pretty trolly. And it came down to how there was a cheat code developed for, I think it was Action Replay at the time? Maybe Game Shark was still around. But basically, there was a code that would allow one player to essentially overwrite your character data with Noel's data. And you could technically do it with other characters as well, but Noel was the most well-known of them, essentially. So, that's why, basically, a lot of Dreamcast players were kind of afraid of this character, essentially. The only way to stop things from happening is you kind of had to be quick on your feet, and as soon as you noticed that Noel had become your character, you basically needed to pull out your VMU card. That was basically the only way to save your character if this had happened to you. And it wasn't until, I think, the GameCube and Xbox era that there was finally resolution on this issue. And it's kind of interesting because at the time, nobody really had a concept of what codes like that could do to other players online. It was essentially an unexplored area. And that's why even like cheating sites that developed these products provided you with the codes to do things like get weapons and such. Now this right here, we've got a red box on the ground, and that is a photon drop. Now photon drops play a role in terms of your character development, but much further down the line. I'd never have guessed. The native animals on Ragol are vicious. Hey, I thought you said you didn't know how to fight. Probably just about feeding time. And in fact, there's an antidote right there. So yeah, a lot of the items that you get in this game, it takes a while before you can actually even use them. The photon drop in particular that we just picked up, that's something that becomes available once we get much further in the story. And I believe it's actually unlocked as part of the Episode 2 story. This is the residential area, isn't it? This area here? What happened to the people living here? What are these animals? Now, one other thing I should note here is the combo that I'm using here, which is a normal attack followed by a heavy and a second heavy. Basically, that combo allows me to maximize how much I'm pushing back an enemy. So, with a normal attack, you're not really going to push the creatures back at all. But with a heavy attack, you actually can push them back and essentially stall their movements. And sure, you could try going for heavy, but really you want to have a weapon that has enough accuracy to do that. When you're at this level, something closer to normal heavy is going to be better, just so you can ensure that you do at least get that first hit, and then you can start to add in the combo from there. Okay, we just picked up Escape Doll, and Escape Doll basically allows you to revive if you get killed. And that's specifically if you... that basically takes the precedence over a Moon Atomizer, because with a Moon Atomizer you need to wait until somebody else activates one to revive you. There were rumors that a huge explosion occurred, but there's no marks. Something's weird here. Now, one other thing that you'll find pretty quickly about the NPC partners, and we saw this yesterday as well, is rarely do they ever deviate from where you're going. And that's eventually going to come to a head with a certain character down the line here, or at least it did in the Dreamcast version. Not so much at this time, ever since the GameCube and Xbox version came out, but I'll bring them up when the time comes. It's scary. Don't you think so? The people on Pioneer 1 must have started to settle down here. But we haven't met anyone yet. Nobody lives here now. Okay, we got a group of Rappies here. Now, eventually, what will happen is you're going to be interested in finding some high-powered weapons, and for that, you're essentially going to want to run the same mission over and over and over so you can get the rare drop that you're looking for. And that's just how this style of game is built, essentially. But we're not quite at that point just yet here. I need to make some space here. go ahead and drop Escape Doll and the Photon Drop into here. Those will be useful later. Oh, and it looks like we got a whole party of Boomas over there. I'm thinking let's make a run for it. Alright, so down this path is going to lead us to the north, and then eventually we'll loop back to the south again. And we should find the teleporter to the central dome over there. Even more psi armor. Okay. Okay, so we got some sort of machine over there, and we can't get to it right now. Moving on. Hey, look! Can you see that input device for weather observation? If it works, perhaps we can access the main computer here. Alright, so that is our objective. I came here to discover the truth, but I'm confused. That's true. The game PSO2 did launch back in, I think it was 2012, in the summer, so we've got about 4 years left. But then again, that's a 10-year plan developed back then. There's no guarantee that they haven't extended that to, say, 15 years, and they plan to do like an overhaul or something at some point. I mean, they technically already did that with the Omnibus quests. Central Dome. If there was an explosion, why aren't there any signs? A lot of people were living there. What happened to them? Was everybody involved in the accident? All of them? Does it still work? Accessing Pioneer 1. Access denied. It works, but we can't enter the main computer on Pioneer 1 with it. How about local data? Everything was working okay until it happened. Every log ends at the same exact time. Hey, Bright. That's enough. Your job is complete. Why? Well, because I think I saw the truth. I saw a lot of monsters, no marks of an explosion, no survivors. I wanted to report the truth to Pioneer 2, but I changed my mind. I'm pretty frightened now. I'm scared. People on Pioneer 2 already feel uneasy about the situation. I don't want to give them any more anxieties. Maybe something's hidden ahead. I don't think I should find out. I'm too scared to know. That's why I decided to stop here. It's all over. Can you bring me back to Pioneer 2? Alright. Up we go in the telepipe. And once again, let us visit the shop. And feed our mag. So we got some psi armor. And we did actually manage to get one that has a slot on it. And we should be able to use that fairly soon. Alright, let's head back to the Hunters Guild. I think it's a good time to call it quits now. I must return to the residential area before they find us. I really appreciate you helping me out. Don't forget to visit the counter at the Hunters Guild. And, we didn't talk to this guy before. A journalist is operating around here without permission. This area is restricted. Right, please let us know if you see a suspicious person. But personally, I'd like to know what's happening on Regol. Xandor, that's gonna be kind of a difficult thing to say if Sega's actually going to do that or not. Of course, there is a wide audience that would like to see it come back. But what happened with Phantasy Star Portable 2 probably did sour any attempt that they were going to make to bring PSO2 over, unfortunately. So we'll have to see if their perspective on things changes when it's time for the next release. But the fact that we also didn't get Phantasy Star Nova is kind of telling here. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the next mission up here. So, the fake in yellow. What is the biologist on Regol doing? So, Dr. Goals, a biologist who's crazy about Regol's native life, is missing. Find him. Please, Ranger, help me. I'm Dr. Goals' assistant. Recently, animal data from Regol has been sold on the black market. Dr. Goals bought this data and he became totally engrossed in it. He stared at the data all day long. And suddenly he told me, I'm going to see them. We heard that Regol was dangerous, so I thought he was just joking. But I haven't seen him for days. Perhaps he did go down to Regol. So I asked the Hunters Guild to find Dr. Goals. Please find him and have him come back here. Alright, so we got a missing doctor on our hands. Hello there. No, I haven't seen Dr. Goals. Not in the city, and not on Regol. Alright, and how about you? I don't know. A biologist in white? Sorry, not interested. Eleanor. Oh, right. How have you been? Me? Of course I'm fine. I'm doing errands for Dr. Montague now. Oh, sorry. It seems I have to go right now. See you later. Yeah, Eleanor is one of those recurring characters we're gonna see a lot. I have nothing to say to you. Okay, let's make our way down to Regol. So, as the mission opens up, we have a Rappy in front of us here. And we can apparently talk to it. It ran away. Alright. Alright. And this is going to be kind of one of the best places if you have a specific item that you want to hunt from Rappies. Because the only thing that you're going to find, you're only going to find in this mission are Rappies. So it's also kind of a nice mission to go through if you're still not 100% certain about how really to handle combat. Just because Rappies are so slow-moving, and you can easily run away from them if you need to. And of course, they drop a lot of stuff as well as you start to beat them up as they're trying to run away. And right now, I'm not looking for anything really specific. I think at this level, on normal here, they give... I think it's a luck unit? And what luck does is it increases the rate of critical attacks. Oh yes, it is very much the same. In fact, that's kind of an interesting story. But to be honest, it's a story I don't want to tell just yet here. I want to wait until we're actually doing a specific quest, and then I will bring this quest up again to kind of tie things together. Rappy's as far as you can see. And once again, Rappies really are the mascot of the series. So, doesn't surprise me at all that they kind of got their own mission here. Alright, here's that weird Rappy again. And it ran away again. Alright, let's go ahead and feed our mag. We're kind of getting to that point where I don't need to pick up every single item anymore. Just because I do have a good amount of Meseta saved up now. But I still do need to pick up things occasionally here. That plus the fact that any of the weapon and armor drops at this point are not really doing that much for me. Alright, and here they are once again. Let's talk to them a few times. Bingo. You've got a great eye. How did you know it was me? I thought my disguise was perfect. Don't you think the Rappy is very cute? It's hairy, soft, cute, so lovely and pretty. I'm in Rappy's group. I'm playing with Rappy. I'm living with Rappy. It's the happiest I've ever been in my life. What? My assistant's asking me to go back now? I've collected enough data by living among them. Okay, I'll return. I'll just spend a little more time here with the Rappy, then I'll leave. So, yeah, the scientist was basically living amongst the Rappies here. And, yeah. So let's go ahead and head back over to the Hunters Guild and turn in the quest. Was it the yellow one he was infatuated with? For me, it's just a big and disgusting thing. I've had enough fun. So that is the doctor there. Finally, he's returned to the lab. Thank you very much. Please please visit the guild to get your Meseta. All right. So we're actually making really good progress here today. I'm surprised we're getting through these quests as quickly as we are. Alright, up next, we've got native research from Alicia to help our study collect data on native animals on Rigor. Alright. Are you Bright? I'm Alicia Baz. I'm an assistant at a laboratory. Sorry, I can't tell you which lab I'm working at. we really need biological data on Regol's native animals. Sorry, I can't tell you why we need this data. I'm just asking you to get this data for us. I heard that animals on Regol are violent, so you need to kill them. Let me put this tool on you to take data from your weapons and bodies. The biological data is automatically stored in these capsules. Please collect data from 5 different native animals. The storage system only works for 20 minutes. Come back by that time. The tool doesn't detect animals if they are too small. Please, don't talk to anyone about this request. Okay, and so as we can see at the top of our screen, we do have a timer here. What can I do for you? Please hurry back. I work at the lab too. I hope you can be of assistance to us. Did you accept that quest? I didn't do it because the client is untrustworthy. I can't work for someone who's so secretive. You agree, right? Yeah, I'll pretty much take on any quest I can get. Alright. Let's head on down to Regol. I don't know if I would agree on that. The big disgusting thing. If anything, it might actually be more of a reference to, the King Rappy, from, Phantasy Star End of the Millennium. I don't think there was ever, I don't remember ever seeing, the big version of it when we were playing version 1. It just seemed to be a rare occurrence, starting with version 2 and onwards from there. Analyzing biodata, analyzing battle data. Setting data code. Got biological data number 2. Alright. Let's check out this area over here. Oh, looks like that one got hung up there. Still a while to go before we level up. But we're getting close. Good evening, Lazigator. Alright, let's set a trap here, as well as a, well, both a confusion and a damage trap. And one thing I learned is whenever you're using the confusion trap, you don't want to use heavy attacks with them, just because that can sometimes interrupt the attack from the other monster there. Analyzing biodata, analyzing battle data, setting data code. Got biological data 1. And I'm pretty sure it's going to keep saying that over and over, so we will go ahead and skip through that text going forward, especially because we do have the timer up top there. Alright, we got some Rappies over here. There we go, biological data number 4. Die grinder. Alright. So, die grinders allow you to increase the power of one of your weapons by +2. Oh, more than that. I'm back when I was playing this all the time. I basically knew all the different map, the way the map could show up. So it was, all I would need is just a quick look at what room I was in, and for the most part, I would know which route to take to get me pretty much directly to the destination. I think he changes into the L Rappy at that point, but I'm not 100% certain. I would want to double check the quest on that one, but I'm pretty sure they do change into an L Rappy. And this is going to be one of the rare times where there actually is a spawn in this area here, thanks to this monist here. Under normal circumstances, you actually don't have any enemies spawn in this room. There we go, level 7! And because we hit that, my traps have refilled, and in fact, because I've leveled up so much, I now have an extra damage trap available to me. And that's something that, as you continue to level up a cast character, you get more traps. Oh, the biggest difference between episodes 1 and 2 and Blue Burst is the fact that you've got the government quest that basically guides you through how the main story works. I mean, plus, you've also got the sub-palette down there, as you can see at the bottom of my screen here, so you can map even more buttons than before. If you're playing a Force, that was something that you would take full advantage of, because this now gives you a total of 16 slots to work with, essentially. The 10 down below, plus your front and back action palette. And for anything that's on the sub-palette, if you need to use it, as the game is directing you to, instead of it being a blue, yellow, or red icon, it's just going to be a white icon. Alright, so there's one more enemy type that we need to get, and that is going to be the Hildebear. And so for that, we need to make our way over to Forest 2. Yeah, and I guess the other big one had to do with how section IDs had changed in terms of how they were calculated. That was the other big one that kind of came with Blue Burst. Alright, hopefully I find one more antidote here. Yeah, this map was actually pretty open here. If you wanted to, you could pretty much just head straight for Forest too, if you wanted to. You would still get the same data here. So, to kind of explain here, it was your name that dictated what your section ID was, and we just got the antidote I was looking for, so that's good news. For version 1, 2, and the the GameCube and Xbox version, it was based on your name, but then with Blue Burst, it also added what your class race combination was into the mix as well. And so that added an extra element of kind of what you need to keep track of in order to know what section ID you were actually going to get. I do know that Affinia does give you a way to, if you do it within, before you hit level 20, you can actually change that as a server command. But for the rest of us that didn't have private servers back then, you actually had to either pick up a tool, check it out online how your name was going to show up, or just kind of experiment until you found one that worked. We're actually starting to run a little short on time here, so I'm going to skip through the rest of this room, and we're going to make our way over to the next one, which I believe is where we're going to find the Hildebears. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the next one after this. Here we go. Alright, let's pop a monomate, get our health back up. Alright, there we go. Biological data 5. Got all biological data. The Hildebear coming down? Yeah, you kind of get used to it once you've been through this for a while. Alright, let's go ahead and hand this in. I confirmed all 5 sets of biological data. Your job is complete. I'm sure that this data will help us to proceed with that research. Oh, no, nothing. Sorry. Now please visit the Hunters Guild to receive your Meseta. Alright, we got 2,500 Meseta out of that. Alright, and we got 2 more of the solo missions to go through. And then if there's time, I want to take on the last of the government quests. If there isn't, though, then that will happen on the next episode. But let's see how quickly we can get through these. So, Forest of Sorrow. The data from the capsules is unusual. From Alicia. That was the client we were just working with. I don't believe the results taken from the data capsules. I want to go see for myself. Hi, Bright. It's me, Alicia Baz. Do you remember me? I asked you to get data from the Regol animals. Yes, the assistant at a laboratory. At that time, I was told by my boss not to disclose any details. This time, I'm asking you to do a job for an individual. Frankly speaking, I want you to go to Regol with me. One moment, folks. Just bear with me here, folks. I'm waiting for this alarm to go off here. Alright, there we go. I've studied large mammals my whole life. I was happy to know that similar animals lived on Regol too, but the data you brought back to us was really strange. If it's really true, then something must have happened to the animals. I want to confirm it. I want to see Regol's mammals and their living environments. And I want to take the data myself, personally. That's the request. I know it's dangerous down there. I will kill them if necessary. I don't like fighting, but I might have to. If possible, I don't want to use my talent as a force. But I have to go. Please go with me. Alright, so let's go ahead and first make our way over to the shop so I can sell some stuff real quick. And you look like a new character. He talks to himself all the time. Are you a hunter? Please take him somewhere. What? Ask the guild first? Oh, you are so hidebound. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell here. Alright, and we can go ahead and put on that Psi armor now. We still don't have access to any slots, so that's fine. And this is carrying pretty much the same stuff as before. Alright, let's make our way down. The data you reported was taken around the dome, wasn't it? Please take me to that place. There should be a transporter that will bring us to the dome. Xandor, yes, you brought up a topic that I was going to bring up later on here. Will it still work after that big explosion? I wonder. Well, we'll worry about that when we find it. To answer your question, since the weapon, since the Soul Eater does not get stronger on later versions of the quest, I'm gonna go for it with the normal quests, and then when it comes time for the next difficulty, that's when I will swap over to working on the Ragul ring at that point. Let's go ahead and skip through these guys. Can we use that transporter to get to the dome? Let's go. I don't know. Do you want to maybe stop talking while we're in this cutscene here? Alright, well at least you took him out. Alright, over to Forest 2. So, this quest in particular is, once again, yet another great hunting ground for a specific enemy, and that is going to be the Hildebeer. Yeah, I'm gonna get through all the quest lines that I can here. Yeah, we will definitely be seeing Eleanor. And in fact, I alluded to that last time. After all, if we happen to unlock certain, if we happen to find certain drops, I'm gonna have to do it anyway. Do you see that? It must be some mammal's young. It looks very young. Can we get closer? So, this is a very young Hildebeer. Isn't it cute? It's gone. Yeah, NPCs don't run away in this game. They just kind of vanish. If anything, it's actually kind of similar to the original Final Fantasy in a way. Oh yeah, and this broadcast is as tall as it can get. Let's see how our mag is doing. Alright, we need to feed. And we are going to need to make a stop up on Pioneer 2 here. Let's take these guys out first. Okay, let's set the telepipe. And let's stop at the shop real quick so I can restock on antidotes. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be keeping. I think I'm gonna keep feeding him antidotes until like level 45 or something like that. And then after that, I'll be able to switch over to something else. Oh, Core Shield. Now, when it comes to the last difficulty mode, I will definitely be making a lot of trips here, because I'll be looking for a very specific spawn. And that spawn has a chance to drop a weapon that is extremely overpowered, but it's pretty much almost required as part of the Ranger arsenal, called the Frozen Shooter. So we'll get there eventually. Just a minute. Same results as before. It means that the data was accurate. This really is data from the native animals on Rigol. Unbelievable. How is it strange? Well, it's hard to explain as it's a genetic issue. I think the gene pool has been altered. It's just too unusual. I've studied animals for a long time, and I'd never believed this. Let's see if we can get them fighting each other. Oh, that's not going to work if there's only one. Once again, taking advantage of the corners to make sure we don't get hurt. I think that's it. There they are. Ooh. It's a baby. Not aggressive at all. It looks so weak. It doesn't look like its parents are feeding it. And it's hurt. Why, what hurt you? Oh, poor baby. The current environment on this planet may be too harsh for it now. Bright, what do you think about taking it back with us? You shouldn't do it. Yes, you're right. We cannot bring him to our world. The baby should stay here. I'm sure that something is changing the animals for the worse on Regol. But I must not change Regol's nature with my one-sided sympathy. That's what I hated at the lab. Okay, I've made up my mind. Right, back to Pioneer 2 now. I'll investigate the cause of their unnatural behavior. It's the only thing that I can do now. Let's go back to Pioneer 2. Alright. So another trip to the shop. And let's get rid of anything we don't need anymore here. Let's see, that core shield definitely helps us. Okay. And we can get rid of this shield as well. I'm gonna hang on to the armor for now, though. Alright, let's go ahead and deposit that die grinder. And I picked up another armor along the way there. I really appreciate you helping me out. Don't forget to visit the counter at the Hunters Guild. Alright. Alright, 1500 Meseta. Nope, I forgot to set the one-player mode. Alright, Grand Squall. Grand Squall, a pleasure boat, departed before the explosion. Find the survivors. And our client is the travel agency. The pleasure boat, Grand Squall, is lost. Find the survivors. Are you Bright? I work for the travel agency. The Grand Squall is a pleasure boat. It departed for Regol before we received news about the explosion. Our communication with the ship has been lost. To ease concerns, we decided to implement a huge search on Regol. Some hunters are already down there looking for survivors. Any kind of clues would be fine. I expect you to find something. If you find anything, report it to me right away. And don't talk to the other hunters. We don't want rumors to spread. Really? I think I know what you're talking about. Does it have something to do with the knack? Let's see here. This looks like a character that's not part of the scene. If you want to keep your job, you'd better keep your mouth closed. Nobody will give you a job if you disobey orders. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, that one will unlock, I think once we clear the next of the government quests. Is it me, or did it look like that wolf was falling from the sky there for a moment? Yeah, Bernie and another character, it's quite the story. They probably would match the Dreamcast ID, not the Blueburst ID. Alright, so, are you looking for the pleasure boat too? Do you really believe the story about the pleasure boat? Not really. I agree with you. I think you're correct. Of course, that doesn't let us pick him up. So, let's go ahead and say yes. Hey, are you serious? You're interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive my rudeness. Can I come with you? I'll give you some good information. Come on. Alright, so we've got Bernie in our party. And their section ID... What is that? I think that's Oran. Alright, here's another hunter. Are you working on the quest offered by the travel agency? I'm doing that too, but I can't find any traces at all. Let me know if you find anything. I didn't want to talk to you again here. Ah, the text loop. Don't you think that this quest is strange? Pleasure boat departed before the council made first contact? No way, I really doubt that the ship really fell to the ground. Alright, here is another hunter. You're searching for the Grand Squall? Will you share your info with me? I don't think so. You want to monopolize the money, right? Same as that man in black. Man in black? Okay, so, this door, it appears to have some sort of a malfunction. And that is not good, because that means we can't open it. Or can we? Won't open? Is the mechanism broken? Let me take care of it. See? I have the knack. The knack allows you to open broken doors. If you want to talk about memes, this was one of the original memes. The information? Oh, yes. Can you keep a secret? Do you swear? The true meaning of this quest is not what it appears to be. The Grand Squall crashed on Rigol, that's true. But it's not a pleasure boat. The Grand Squall is a secret military ship. I don't know what its purpose was. Anyway, it crashed on Rigol. I confirmed it with my source who's working on another quest with me. My source says there must be a survivor. My true quest is camouflaged by the travel agency's quest. We'll use that transporter, okay? Sure. Lazigator, if you're asking if this is on the PlayStation 4, no it is not. This is on the PC, or at least the version I'm playing is on the PC. I never played Knack actually, so I guess we could say whoosh on that one. Trying to remember where it was. This... It was either over here or by the central dome. Yeah, I think it's by the central dome by the fact that we now see that NPC on the map there. I seem to recall something like that. Yeah, that and another of the memes, which well, kind of the original meme for the whole series, that being a cake shop in a very unusual place. Alright, level 8. And let's feed our mag. I'm looking for a little lady. I heard that a chip's implanted in her body to get her data. If we're close enough to her, we can detect her with this machine. I don't understand why they had to implant the chip into her. Alright. So it's gonna be the other way. It shows that her signal is coming from this direction. But there seems to be a big party waiting for us. I'm glad I joined up with you. So that's actually something that we're gonna have to get to eventually here as well. Phantasy Star Zero, especially because even though I know the big picture around it, that's actually one of the Phantasy Star series that I never completed. And it's not for the reason you might think of. Anytime I tried to play it on my Nintendo DS, my hand would just cramp up. And so eventually it would just start hurting and I just could not go on anymore. It just got to the point where I just had to stop. So at least now there's an opportunity for us to kind of learn that game together. But that's I don't even know when we're gonna get to that. Maybe a year? 2? I really have no timetable on that one. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it was just like the first 3 missions got swapped around based on the race that you picked, not that the whole thing changed. She's badly injured. It's a miracle that she's still alive. Hey you, thanks for the help. Can you go on ahead and report it to the travel agency? I'll go with her later, don't worry. I'll contact my other client about this girl before we return. Okay. And boy oh boy, is that a face that we are going to encounter in episode 4. Alright, let's sell what we can. And let's restock on antidotes. Okay, it may be worth doing multiple run-throughs then. Excellent. We didn't expect there to be any survivors. Let me confirm this. Only Bernie and you know about the survivor? Oh, Bernie is the ranger who brought her here for you. It's his nickname. He's always been a mysterious man. I'll take care of the girl, don't worry. The guild will pay you your reward. Alright. Alright, so with that, let's start up one last mission for today. Create a party. And this is going to be normal mode. We are going to be taking on the last of the first part of the government series today. So, 1-3, Subterranean Den. Nobody that we've sent beneath the central dome has come back alive. Please go down and investigate. I've been waiting for you, Ranger Bright. To sum up what's happening, since the beasts around the central dome have been exterminated, we've been able to send investigation teams in to check things out. However, the door to the dome itself won't open. But we were able to find a teleporter that will send us below the dome. However, our advanced team went to investigate and hasn't returned. Somehow or another, we need to get into the central dome. The council decided that sending in more troops is too dangerous, and so they've asked for the best hunters to go check things out. And so, I've chosen you for the job. Find a way underneath the central dome and find out what happened. My secretary Irene has the details. Please speak to her. I'm counting on you. Here are the details of the current mission. Use the teleporter near the central dome to go below and investigate. I believe that the principal has already told you this, but nobody has returned from the area underneath the dome. I have a feeling that this might be a very dangerous mission. Please do everything that you can to make sure you survive. That is all. Good luck. I heard that you found messages from Rico, but she's still missing. Please find her. The sooner the better. Please. Alright, let's make our way down to the forest one last time. To be honest, in most cases, in fact I think in all cases, except maybe like the last one, which is over in episode 4, all of these, for the end of the series always play out the same way, and it's essentially a full run through the area. And it's the reason what, and any special flags that are set by one mission get carried, or rather, that are set by the original mission before you start up a government quest are also set in the government quest as well. And that's something that really only comes into play for episode 4, for the last mission, in that if you happen to come across a rare version of a boss there, you can actually start up the last of the government quest and get a second shot at it, essentially. That's another little pro tip there, if you happen to have a character that is along at that point. And so that's another reason why it's a good thing to do all the government quests that you can. So we're probably going to have to head to the west here. The teleporter. Yes, indeed. There it is. But we once again have to take the long way around. Now, of course, with this being the regular mode again, Enemies are taking a lot more damage to take out here. So that's one of the things that, if you are playing solo, and you're trying to hunt for a specific item, and there really isn't a good way to search for them, then going solo mode is probably going to be a better idea in the end. Of course, if you're looking for Rappies, then of course you would hop right into the fake and yellow. Got a while to go before level 9. I don't think we're gonna make it before we get to the end. That guy's just standing over there. Quite the crowd in this room. Let's see if we can confuse these guys. There we go. Okay, from here we should be able to make it straight into Area 2 for the forest. Disable the laser fences by using the colored switches. Let's see if there's anything in the boxes here. Definitely need that monomate. And let's see if we can feed our mag. Yes. There we go, another point of power. Just for reference, when you're raising a mag, for each level of defense, it equates to 1 defensive point. For MST or for attack power, that's going to equate 1 level to 2 points. And then for attack accuracy, that's going to be you need 2 levels for 1 point. But as a ranger, you really want to get the attack accuracy really, really early on. And the reason for that is because if you happen to come across a rare weapon early on in your career, you should be able to equip that almost immediately just because of just because you've got a naturally high attack accuracy, and because of the boost that you would get from a mag. Yeah, the amplifiers, those are going to be specific. I guess I'm trying to remember now if you could actually wear them on any of the non-Android classes, but they made the most sense going on one of the Force classes. Let's go ahead and run through these guys here. And let's get this bridge up. Alright, the bridge is up. And the monsters have no path to us, which means we now have a free kill on them. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with Game Winners. Where's that publication from? Ah, gotcha. Did you happen to ever come across PSO World at all? That was one of the biggest of the online forums at the time. Just for reference, the reason I'm using the normal attacks here is I don't want to push them back and then make them go out of range of my attack. I haven't tried this myself, but you might want to see if there is a user account recovery function on PSO World. Well, if you've watched my stuff in the past, you can pretty much see what the level of quality is for the fan translation for PSO2. I mean, it's very rarely do you ever actually get stuck in the game because you can't read something. And even then, it's such a minor thing, it doesn't even get in the way. Cool, glad I could help. Alright, let's try to confuse these Hilda Bears. There we go, they're fighting each other. And now let's go for a freeze trap. I'm trying to hang on to this Photon Blast for what's going to be coming up pretty soon here. Okay, there goes one. There goes the other. I think we got one or two more rooms to go here. Actually, before we do anything, I want to feed my mag again. Alright, Rappies and Gigo Boomas. An interesting combination. There we go, they got the debuff. And that one is just standing over there. There we go, now he's starting to walk. Alright, that over there is a boss teleporter, which means we are almost at the end here. We just have to take out this group, and then I think one or two more. I am almost out of traps here. Okay, we actually made it to level 9, right before the boss. Okay. That means, since my traps don't work with the boss, I can just freeze this guy over and over and over. Alright, one more wolf to take care of. There we go. I have no idea how he managed to get knocked back like that. No, it won't open. It might be easier to look for another way to get in. Okay, so boss teleporter is activated. Let's make our way up to the ship, because I need to sell some stuff. And can I feed him? Yes! Let's go ahead and feed the mag. Refilling on monomates and antidotes. Alright, we are ready. Into the boss teleporter we go. It's a dragon! So, kind of a version difference. In the original prototypes for this game, the dragon actually started not coming in from the air, but rather it crashed through one of the walls. And we're talking like a really early prototype. Back before even the text bubbles had changed to the style that we know them now. And one of the tricks that you can use here is you can kind of keep behind him as he's walking. And then he won't breathe his fire on you. And of course, while he's on the ground, you can just go for his head. There we go, he's on the ground again. Let's see if we can push him into Phase 2 now. Yes, indeed. Phase 2. That's what that roar represents. Now, kind of a pro tip about this guy. If you have 40 HP, you can survive any attack that he might try to do. Or technically it's 41 that you want. 40 is what their max damage is. And always pay attention to where you're going, not just only looking at the minimap there, because you can actually spot him like I just did coming up. Alright, let me get behind him again. And once again, as long as they don't start breathing the fire, they're not going to, they're never going to jump up into the sky again. So this is really how you want to fight this guy. Just keep staying behind them, and then that way, whatever their next attack in line is, it can't trigger. I will admit it's slow going, and so eventually you will be able to, just by increasing your level, not have to do this as much. But early on, this is kind of the cheapo way to knock him out, essentially. There we go. And don't be next to him when he goes down. Otherwise, he'll crush you and you'll take damage, and potentially that could kill you. And that is one of the version differences I should also mention. In Blue Burst, unlike other versions of the game, if you do happen to die, your experience will go down. I don't believe it levels you down, but it is something that you want to try to avoid if you can. So, let's see what the dragon had for us today. We already picked up the Star Atomizer. We got a cane that has an unknown property, but since we can't use it, we're not going to grab it. We've got some Psi Armor, and I'm realizing I forgot to sell my stuff earlier. Just some set out of those boxes. There should be one more set of boxes around here somewhere. There they are. A die grinder. I'll take that. Unknown saber and a Giga frame. I definitely want to try to pick that up and see what we got on that. The slide grinder, or the Psi Armor has no slots, but the Giga frame has 2 slots. Alright. Back to Pioneer 2 we go. No, in fact, after version 2, the drop tables, at least when it came to rare weapons, changed almost completely. And the dragon, did it attack you? You believe the native animals on Regol attacked Pioneer 1. To defend their territory? It's possible, but why all of a sudden? Once again, you've done an excellent job. For your efforts, please accept a reward. Speak to Irene. She'll give it to you. I'll keep you in mind for future jobs as well. I look forward to seeing more of your skill in action. Okay. Irene. Great work as always. Here, let me give you this reward. I hope that you're able to put it to good use. Oh, that's right, my items pack is full. Please come back when you have some more room. That's a nice little touch that they added. Okay. We got a rifle +5. So that is going to give us 6 extra points of attack power. We lose the 5% on native beasts. But that really is not going to matter now. Because we have now completed the first of the Government Quest series. And so with that, that seems to be a natural point for us to stop for today. If you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I do go live. In addition to that, I have a Discord. Link to that is in the description below. Anytime I go live, I do always put a notification in there as well. Thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.